juntam-se ao circuito podem também usufruir do Music Festival agora a partir de...
Hello everybody and welcome to our live studio show here on MXGPTV.com with me, Paul Malin and Lisa Leyland. It's round 10 of the FIM Motocross World Championship and we are in Águeda for the MXGP of Portugal. On today's studio show we have Noel Zanocz coming in from Hungary, of course Venuri KTM. We've got Calvin Vlaanderen, Red Bull Ducati factory MXGP team, and Fly Racing's Jason Thomas joining us on the studio today. But before we go anywhere, Lisa Leyland, here we are, back in Portugal. We had a hot one last week. Looks like it might be another scorcher this week, although maybe not as hot, but it's still pleasant though, isn't it?
This is absolutely perfect. Prime conditions, I think. I mean, it's still tanning weather, but it's a little bit more fresh. Your hair's looking fresh today.
Oh, don't.
Well, have you noticed the difference with his hair?
Fluffy duck.
I said, what have you done? What have you done different?
Forgot to put the product in.
He didn't style it. That's what he did differently.
So, yeah, I'm feeling a little bit...
You just can't get the stuff these days,
I'm feeling a little bit loose and ragged today, so apologies for that.
Rough around the edges.
Yeah. Anyway, should we welcome our first guest?
Yeah.
Right, let's bring him in. Noel Zanocz, Venuri KTM Racing Team, joins us for the first time on our studio show here on MXGP TV. Cable over the shoulder. Look, we've briefed him well. Yeah. A moment ago, your girlfriend said you could have cleaned your shoes, but, you know, it's too late for that. Yeah. Welcome, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, you know, that's her resort. No, it's okay.
Well, look, let's crack on with the show. 13th in the championship at the moment in MX2. How tough has this season been for you as a former 125 Junior World Champion, European champ? A lot of wins and podiums in the MX 250 as well. Just maybe talk through that, because obviously you're somebody that's used to winning, and at the moment you're kind of a little bit far from that. So how do you deal with that? How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, it's been a really hard season so far. Obviously, a couple of injuries didn't make my life easier, and yeah, I'm just trying to get out of this downhill and make it an uphill. I think already from the start of the season I made some progress. Yeah, it's just hard. I really try to get recovered as quickly as possible, and you know, just do the best as I can. Obviously, it's not where I want it to be in the winter. That was not the expectation from either from me, from the team, or anyone. So it was hard to accept, but this is reality, and we have to work to make it better. So that's what we are doing every weekend.
Yeah, I remember talking to you in the Paddock restaurant in Trentino earlier on this year, around 4 or 5. And you sort of said to me you thought it would be an easier transition from EMX 250 to MX2, I guess because you ride the same capacity motorcycle. Were you kind of serious then, or joking then? Because I read it as, when you told me, you thought, yeah, I was going to come in and, you know, I'd be sort of a top 5 guy straight away. And I guess you put that on comparing lap times when you're in EMX 250 and then comparing lap times to MX2, free practice and time practice, things like that. So has it been harder? Did you think it was going to be easier?
Obviously, I thought it's going to be easier, but I still believe that if I wouldn't have those injuries, I would have came in harder, and I would have run, let's say, you know, like at least in the top 10 for sure.
Sure.
And every time, and yeah, I was just underprepared. Obviously, I was out for 3 months, and even now I'm just far from 100% with the knee. So yeah, it just... Obviously, as you said, the bike is the same like last year, so yeah, it is definitely something what I thought was going to be easier transition, but yeah, in the end turned out to be not. So
yeah. So what would you say the biggest difference is then in the class? Is it the pace of the riders, or is it that amount of riders that can all go super fast?
Yeah, I think, as you said, like here, we have not as many riders, but everyone is fast. So a start can make your life way easier. Just how I experienced it in Montevarchi in the quali race. So yeah, with a good start, I know I'm capable of running in the front, and it's just been hard to get those starts. And obviously the pace is quicker than in the MX 250. So I have to also adapt to that.
You mentioned you came into the season underprepared, but we had that 5-week break. Were you able to train a little bit more, kind of more bike time, just to get up to where you need to be?
Yeah, definitely. But it was hard with school to manage everything. On Tuesday, I had my last exam in school, so I'm done with it. I'm graduated, so obviously that's also gonna remove a little bit of pressure from the school side, and I really hope that that's gonna also help me to do better in the races.
Well, a week ago, Montevarchi qualifying race. You got one of those flying starts that we are used to seeing, you know, from 125, from 250. And actually, you ran a few laps in third place, eventually finished in sixth place. How was that for you, running up at the sharp end once again? Did it feel good?
Yeah, it felt nice, especially like, you know, first few laps I felt a little bit nervous again, and it was a little weird, but then I was happy. I fall back to sixth, but in 2 laps to go I came back to fifth and I finished there, so it was nice. So I'm definitely looking forward to do more races like this.
Yeah.
Did you notice the difference in the intensity in that race, like being up at the sharp end? Because we saw Faris McClellan and Kunin pass you. Did you feel that difference?
Yeah, obviously, like they are riding at the moment on a different level. I have to accept that, and I have to just work for it to, like, you know, get closer race by race. So that's my goal is, and I definitely see that there are riders who go faster, so I know I can also be faster. So that's nice to see.
Actually, real quick, I'm just going to jump in. Sometimes it's more intense being 10th or 15th place after a bad start because you have so many riders coming in dive bombing. So actually, maybe it felt more like a luxury being at the front again.
Yeah, like in Argentina was the opposite. I had also a good start, but then I just didn't have the pace at that stage and also the physique, and I was riding in a loads of pain. So obviously they came through faster. Yeah. When Montevarchi, I was able to manage like the first few laps a little bit bigger gap, and then the pack was not so like together, and then it was easier to manage the race.
Sure.
You mentioned Argentina, and actually that's where we first saw your potential in that qualifying race. You got the start, you were inside the top 5 battling there. How was that first qualifying race for you? And if you could do anything different, what would you change?
Yeah.
Just not get injured in the pre-season race.
Yeah, maybe I even wouldn't even go there and just take my
Right.
time and came back when I feel ready. I feel I came back to the bike a little bit too early.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I just didn't really have the time to, to get fit and get good with the knee.
How was the track there, actually? Because first time to Argentina. Obviously, we've done maybe 3 tracks in the last few years. The first one was down at Villa Langostura. The second one last year was in Cordoba. And then this one, another new track just outside of Bariloche. When I first saw it, I was very, very surprised and thought, yes, really nice racetrack. How was it for you, first appearance, and what was it like to race?
Yeah, it was definitely just a crazy experience to go to Argentina. I was traveling 41 hours, so I was really, really tired when I arrived there. But yeah, the track was really unique. Like the layout I really enjoyed and was really good. The pack of the track was a little bit different than the Europe style of tracks. Like what we have also here is a little bit unique here in Agueda. And yeah, it was definitely a good experience, especially running in the front. And then obviously I fainted at the second part of the race, but it was still a good experience.
I was going to ask you about what are your goals now for the second half of the season, maybe more top 10s, inside the top 10, race finishes and things like that. But before we came on air, I can see you have the strapping on the knee. You're going to do this race and then maybe not go to South Africa? Is that the situation? Just give us a quick update there.
Yeah, I will try to... Yeah, on Monday I will go to Spain and do 2 weeks of physio, and we really try to work on the knee to at least fix the pain, even if it won't be the strongest. Just I really want to get to the point where I can ride pain-free.
Okay. Well, look, sorry to hear that. Sorry that you're going to be missing South Africa, but all the best. Try and get through it this weekend, and we'll see you back on a racetrack, maybe the other side of South Africa, and hopefully, fingers crossed, you're a little bit better and, you know, more where you should be, pain-wise. All right. Well, look, Noel Zanocz, thanks for joining us. As I say, enjoy this Portuguese Grand Prix as much as you can. Before we go anywhere, though, let's just fill you in. We've got Calvin Vlaanderen coming in any moment now, but we've got episode 9, The Brotherhood. Here's an intro to the Latvian Grand Prix. This was out on Tuesday, so enjoy this. tape of the 2026 FIM Motocross World Championship, then arriving back in Kegums. And when you look at the history of the place, in terms of MXGP, we've hit that racetrack every year since 2009, and that includes the Motocross of Nations in 2014. So we've got a long list of illustrious winners. Jeffrey Hurlings has been on the podium 11 times there, including 9 wins. Tim Geiser on the podium 4 times, all of those as a winner. Roman Fevre yet to get a win there, so too the championship leader though, Lucas Koonen, although he's been on the podium in MX2. In terms of the nature of the ground, sandy on top, a hard base underneath, and that makes it kind of one of those tricky circuits for the riders because you expect the sand flies to do well, but that element of hard underneath is one of those things that can catch them out at any given time. Heading into the Latvian Grand Prix, of course, there's going to be a whole array, an army of fans hoping to cheer on the success of the 2 Reisulis brothers, of course, Carlos and Yanis, and a former podium visitor there in MX2 and MXGP, Paul Jonas. Paul Jonas has missed the last few rounds, but the last time he managed to race there was back in 2022 when he did get on the podium in MXGP, 2nd overall. As for the Reisuli, yes, the plural version of Reisulis, we believe. Both have been on the podium at home in terms of their EMX days. They were on the podium together in 125 with Carlos 2nd, Yanis 3rd. Yanis wasn't happy about that. But Yanis, of course, has been on the top step of the podium in EMX 250. So in terms of visiting the podium at home, they've experienced it, but not in MX2. So hopefully they'll get their opportunity here this weekend. Hello everybody, welcome back to our live studio show here on MXGPTV.com with me, Paul Malin and Lisa Leyland. Calvin Vlaanderen joins us now, Red Bull Ducati Factory MXGP team. Calvin, welcome to our studio show, welcome to Portugal. And first of all, what's it like being a Red Bull Ducati Factory MXGP rider, moving to a new project, and I'm guessing there's a little bit more work behind the scenes than you're used to.
Yeah, how's it, guys? Hope it's going well.
Yeah.
You see, I used how's it there because we're going soon to South Africa, so got to get you used to the slang.
Right, bro. Right, China.
No, it's going well. It's been quite an adjustment to the new team, to the new bike. We've been learning every week. You know, we 9 Grand Prix down now, but every weekend we try new things and trying to improve the bike. So it's it hasn't been easy. But I mean, everyone's been working their asses off, and you know, we can see the progression and the improvement. So, hats off to them, hats off to myself for keep working hard, and hopefully from here on up, it's you know, up.
Yeah. Well, look, 12th in points, but that doesn't tell the whole story. It's almost like Instagram versus reality in many ways, isn't it? You know, you seem to be riding good. Just been 1 or 2 little issues here and there. But, you know, and so from that side, maybe a little bit more to the story that maybe people don't see. So how are you dealing with that week in, week out? I guess it's something that you signed up for. You knew that it wouldn't be perfect moving in straight away.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's a new brand coming to the sport. If you look at the other manufacturers, they have, I mean, they're testing something now for what they're going to be racing in 2030 or 2029, you know. Yeah. So whereas we are testing something what's going to be racing next week or the weekend after. So we really, when you come into the sport so late, you're really on the back foot, and you really have to try and improve fast and make decisions fast, change your bike as fast as possible to suit the rider and to get up to be competitive. So yeah, it hasn't been easy, but it's been for me a learning experience. I have never really been in this position myself, but it's been enjoyable. I've tried to enjoy the tough days as much as I can. It hasn't been easy, like I said, but it's I've learned a lot about myself and as a rider also. Yeah.
Has it, any part of it, been quite frustrating for you as like a former GP winner, being in this situation? You said it's a lot of work, but do you actually feel like, do you know what? There's light at the end of the tunnel. Those results, that consistency will come. You will get there. Definitely
light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, I see it. I mean, it's not easy. Like, like even if I was whatever, but like the class is stacked. Yeah. Like everyone is riding so good at the moment, and it's to run up top 5 or to be fighting for the podium on whatever bike, whatever it is, never going to be easy. You know, you need to be at the top of your game. So I do see the light at the end of the tunnel. I feel like my riding has been good the last weeks. Already from beginning of the season, we've had some unfortunate DNFs. Some on my behalf too. Some crashes, some stupid things happen. So hopefully can not have these happen the next couple of weeks and just get consistent results. And I think when you compound the results every weekend, I think your confidence gets higher and you can start performing at the front again.
And talking about that, Italy last weekend, 4th in race 1, you're up at the sharp end. Was it nice to be there again? Things are heading in the right direction by the looks of it.
For sure, I think.
Yeah.
For me personally, it was super nice to be up front and battling with the guys up front again. That's where I wanted to be already from the beginning of the season, and we just haven't really been there. We got a good couple. We got 2 fifths in Spain in the beginning of the season, but since then it's been a bit of an up and down year. So we definitely improved with the bike after Latvia. We changed a couple of things, and that brought some confidence to my riding and confidence to myself going into the weekend. I knew that if I got some good starts, I could be at the front.
What does a result like that 4th place do to you and to everybody, not just that's under the tent on a race day weekend, but everybody back at the factory down there in Bologna?
I think it just gives us all some motivation and some, we've been working so hard, and to just give them a small piece of result is nice, also for myself, for them. Everyone was super happy after the first race, like I'm on the podium or something, Yeah. And it's just super nice to give them some small result to show that, guys, we're working so hard, it's paying off. We must just continue doing what we're doing, and we right there where we should be. Yeah. And it's nice to give them that.
Yeah, well, you mentioned the 5th in Andalusia. First top 5 with Ducati. How did that top 5 position feel, and how different was the bike then to what it is now?
Because you just mentioned now, like, you've made even changes since Latvia, so...
Yeah,
the bike is different a lot. Since then we've changed so many things, actually. It's quite interesting to see how the bike was then, and sometimes when you do change so much, you do get a bit lost, and I think we did get a bit lost since then. In some ways we went actually back to how we were with some gearing and things like that, so you're learning along the way. And it's a process.
Exactly that. What are yourself and Ducati hoping for the second half of the season?
I think weekends like how it was last weekend was a good step. 6th overall, top 5 moto finish. Things like this is what we want and what we expect going forward. So I think if we can continue to do this, continue to improve the bike in some certain areas, I think there's no reason why we can't do that. Run up front and fighting for the top 5 positions.
Well, this weekend is round 10. We're in Portugal. 1 week from now, you head home to Johannesburg, South Africa. Of course, you're not from Johannesburg, but South Africa. And we have round 11 there, the first MXGP there in a long time, 18 years, something like that, 20 years. How much are you looking forward to going home, riding a home Grand Prix for the first time and getting to experience that for the first time?
It's amazing, honestly. It's so cool. Like, it was on the pre-season calendar last year, I think, or 2 years ago, and then already then I was like, oh, imagine if this would happen. And now it actually is happening. It's so cool, like, to experience this and to be a part of it, to be racing in front of my family, my friends. It's going to be very special, and I can't wait. 2004 and 2005, I was there as a little kid at Sun City watching my heroes race MXGP. So to be one of them is just going to be awesome.
Wow.
And obviously, it's not just you. It's Camden as well, from the MXGP paddock regulars. Have you spoken to him about it? Have you compared notes? And are you both on that sort of train at the moment of like, mate, how cool will it be?
Yes, I mean, when it was on the calendar, I had conversations with him and we chatted about it, and we're just so excited to be there and representing South Africa, especially for him. He's riding super well at the moment, and I hope that he has a great round there. He's from Johannesburg, just 20 minutes from the track, so for him it's even closer.
Wow.
For me it's a couple hours drive, about 14 hours drive, so it's quite a far away from Cape Town, but still it's in South Africa, and it's going to be super special.
Well, I'm sure the fans will come out and turn out in their tens of thousands because, like you say, you've got two guys, homegrown, going home for the first time in a long time. We've not had that in a long time either, since the Albi days, since the Langston days, you know. So hope you enjoy it. And, yeah, looking forward to it myself.
Yeah, I can't wait. Thanks, guys.
No worries. Well, look, Calvin, we are out of time, but enjoy this weekend. Get on that first plane home. Enjoy the experience of being back there, racing in front of friends and family. And, yeah, we'll see you over there.
I'll be catching up quite a lot with you over in South Africa. You know that already, though.
That's fine. I'll allow you to interview me on the start line.
Oh, please. Thank you for once.
All right. Well, look, anyway, look, Calvin, we're out of time, but thanks for joining us and all the best this weekend. Jason Thomas is about to come and join us now, but before we catch up with him, we're going to catch up with the Reisulis. Here's a little bit of the Brotherhood Behind the Gate, episode 10. Just a little bit following those guys from their home GP. Enjoy this one.
Where is the camera? Which camera? So far this season, I've been feeling quite well. I've had some dips, especially in the French and German round, but otherwise I'm feeling quite well on the bike. The team is well organized, so yeah, it's been quite a good season so far. Now being in the same team as my brother, it's, in my opinion, quite a nice, how to say, plus to have. Because, yeah, we've been riding together since a long time, but this year I felt like we've been more together. We help each other a bit more. We experience the same lifestyle, same everything, so we can relate to each other much more. So it's a nice thing to have in this team.
To be honest, coming in this class, I didn't really had expectations, and yeah, I also didn't want to put any pressure on myself. But even though I am like the kind of guy who, like, no matter the situation, I always want to win. Yeah, I think I've been doing really my best this season so far, and it's been going quite well.
We were very happy actually that Jannis and Carlos stayed together because we had the experience with Carlos. He's a really nice guy, professional, respectful, so it's nice to have such a guy in the team. Jannis we didn't know at all. Yeah, of course we saw his races and then we started working together, and actually it was, I think we had a very, very good winter, and it was nice working with them and still. So for the team it's nice. It was a change, but only positive.
I was not cruising, but just riding and trying to find a line where to pass, and yeah, I found it, and then I made a pass. Yeah, but maybe.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the final part of our live studio show here on MXGPTV.com with me, Paul Malin, and Lisa Leyland. Our final guest joins us now, Jason Thomas from Fly Racing, the hardest working man in motocross at the moment. Back and forth, this side and that side of the Atlantic. Welcome back to Portugal. Happy to be back.
I am excited to be back. Whoever ordered the great conditions, track, weather, big change from a week ago for you guys. So. Yeah, excited to be here. This is a great part of the world, and we couldn't ask for a better racetrack and weekend.
Actually, it makes a change not to be knee-deep in mud at this Grand Prix, because the last few years, that's exactly what it's been, long ruts and deep holes and things like that. Hence, probably the date shift. But let's crack on with the show, and let's start with the Coonans. Probably, 3 weeks ago now, Sasha, Lucas, they were in Thunder Valley. They did the US National out there. 2-2 for Lucas, a race win for Sasha. How did the American fans embrace them? And because it seemed like from the outside watching, they were really taken to their hearts. How was it on the ground from you?
Yeah, I think a lot of people weren't sure what we were going to get. You know, they do watch MXGP, but I think it's a little bit more casually than of course I would. So I was very sure of kind of their performance level. You never know what, you know, racing can bring anything. But I knew that they could stack up well against our contingent. But I think a lot of fans were pleasantly surprised, you know, for Sasha to win a moto, for Lucas to not only be involved, but also close down on the lead at times. And you factor in all the variants that they had to deal with, elevation, different motorcycles, the travel. They've never been to this particular racetrack. There was a lot thrown at them in a very short amount of time, and the way they responded, I thought spoke volumes for not only themselves, but for MXGP in general.
Okay, well, we're back home now. Back to reality. Well, yeah, they're back home now. Back to reality, and both Sasha and Lucas are leading their respective championships. But things are looking good at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, they've had so many things go their way on top of great performance, you know, and when you look at championships, that's a big part of things. Yes, you need to perform well, but it's also just random chance. And, you know, the MXGP, I viewed the championships very differently, although the points are similar, where the MXGP championship feels incredibly tight. It feels like Jeffrey and Lucas have been on the same level of performance week in and week out, and it should be a 2-point differential. Instead, it's, you know, 40 or 50.
Yeah.
The MX2 class, it just feels a little bit different, where Sasha has been so consistent and the rest of the guys have been all over the place that he's been able to separate himself, but he's been consistently at the front. So it's almost a tale of two cities for me in the championship-wise. I don't really picture a world where we're going to have any sort of breakaway in MXGP. I think this is going to continue, Lucas and Jeffrey, week in and week out. The big question is, does the shoe fall the other way at any opportunity for Jeffrey to tighten this thing back up? Because I do think he's going to do a lot of winning from here.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we're at a crucial stage at the championship, halfway round, round 10. How important are these rounds? Portugal, South Africa in the championship fight?
Yeah, I think anytime you're near the halfway point, a lot of riders start assessing the situation, and you develop trends in the first half, and then it's can riders reverse trends, or is just continuity from here? So I think everybody starts to take inventory about now. And if you're out of this thing, you start to fall by the wayside. I think a lot of guys, it's really hard to stay motivated as we get into the dog days of summer, right? So I do think for motivation for the second half, for riders to stay fully engaged, you kind of need to be really strong right now, so you have something to look forward to late. And you just, you know, the cream of the crop starts to separate themselves late in any championships, and it feels like we're developing that storyline right now for how that's going to go.
Final question on MXGP. Last weekend in Italy, Lucas Coonan went in 62 points clear, went out to 63 after quali. It's now down to 56. So overall, Jeffrey gained 6 points on Lucas. A lot of people saying championship's done, dusted, the gap's too big. We've got 10 rounds to go, 6-point gain, 56-point margin. Jeffrey, for instance, could be looking at a 6th world title. It's not a done deal. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs between them. But if you can sustain a minimum of 6 points gain, then the championship falls the other way. It certainly tightens things up going into the final race.
It does. And, you know, you can get this yo-yo effect where, you know, Jeffrey's been outstanding at this particular racetrack, so maybe he takes it down to sub 50 here. I almost view it similar to last year, but it's reverse roles where Roman had this lead, and all he had to do was manage it. Lucas has a great weekend, no problem. I'll bounce back the next weekend, extend the lead back out. And you're just trying to keep the status quo week in and week out. And if you keep a big lead, 40, 50, 60 points of status quo, it gets incredibly difficult to bring that down, especially in the late rounds.
Yeah, well, MX2, Sasha has a 41-point lead. A couple of boys in black behind him, the Triumph boys, Camden and also Guillaume. They are looking really strong at the moment, aren't they?
They have. I mean, to win individual races like that showed a lot. I give Sasha a lot of credit for just kind of taking what comes, not pushing the situation, not overriding the racetrack. And at the end of the day, he was able to stand on top of the box, even though he didn't necessarily get the race wins.
And extend the lead.
Yes, exactly. And that's something that's been missing from his repertoire for a very long time. So if he's going to continue to do that, if he's going to take a second or a third, but rack up 40-plus point weekends, these guys are going to have a really difficult time, because that's always been what they could go at, is like, yeah, fine, he went 1-1 this weekend, but he's going to go 7-14 next weekend, right? He hasn't been doing that in 2026, and that's really how you've seen this big lead grow.
That's what's caught everybody off guard. We can't rule out Mattis Vallen either. I guess the biggest concern in many ways, Simon Langenfelder, 4 podiums at the beginning of the season, first 4 rounds, missed the podium the last 5 rounds. Obviously, Latvia crashed and got injured. 59 points lead off, 59 points off the lead now. Should we be concerned? I'll give you my take in a minute.
Yeah, I think so. It's more of because I really can't diagnose what's the problem.
Yeah.
You know, if he got poor starts and couldn't move forward on a track like last weekend in Italy, I would say, okay, well, that was conditional. Just, you know, the track was very difficult for a lot of people to manage. He was starting near the front and was unable to match the pace. He has not been the same Simon Langenfelder from 2025 for weeks now. And when you start a season the way he did, he looked like the class of the field. Move forward, take the win, really dominant. And to have this sort of struggle for the better part of a month, I'm asking you. I don't know what's really going on. It's really strange to me.
I was at the media opportunity last night. We're just going to overrun by about 30 seconds here. Spoke to him, asked if everything was okay. He said yes. All he seemed to do was, he said from the crash in Latvia, whilst it hurt, he's not carrying any injury. It's still a little bit sore, a little bit stiff with the back. But they made some changes to the bike. He was too comfortable. The settings on the bike were too much comfort. He's gone back to stuff at the beginning of the season. Okay, so I'm guessing firmer suspension. He said he'll be back this weekend. Let's hope that he is.
I mean, it's now or never.
But he's not concerned.
No, well, I think 59 points down, you should be concerned. If there's not a sense of urgency, you're probably maybe a little bit too comfortable, as you mentioned. So we talked about mid-season, how important that is. He has to turn the tide back the right direction this weekend.
Yeah, I think it was more the comfort of the bike was more comfortable.
Yeah.
But JT, we're out of time. You'll be with me in the booth all weekend from quali right the way through the Sunday races as well.
Absolutely.
Thanks for stopping by. Just before we go, though, let's give you a quick roundup as to what is coming up on MXGPTV.com today. We've got Time Practice, MX2, MXGP. We've got EMX 125 presented by FMF Racing, EMX 250, and of course the qualifying races as always. But that's it. Thanks to our guests. Thanks to Lisa, to JT, to Calvin, and to Noel. We'll be back next week in South Africa. Yes, South Africa. Nice 12, 14-hour flight down there somewhere. Same time zone as Central European time, though, so that's a plus. So from me, from Lisa, everybody here, thanks for watching. See you next week. Bye for now.